Alright, so now that our local application is complete, I want to do something that we haven't really done, and that is make our application live on the web. And there's a few different ways you can do it, a few different services. I want to use Heroku, which is an application hosting provider, among other things. And it's used commonly for Node.js as well as Ruby on Rails, Python, and a whole bunch of other programming languages. Now, there's a few different packages. We want the free package, which is mostly used for development, maybe some small production apps. But you can see if we go to pricing and go down, you can see that packages for enterprise level businesses can go up to 30 grand. So yeah, it can be very, very expensive, but that's if you have, like a site like Instagram or Twitter or something like that, where there's just loads and loads of data. This is an excellent solution because it's really easy to scale. All right, so what you want to do is first sign up, and I already have an account, so I'm not going to go through that, but just fill in your information, and once you do that, we can log in. And you shouldn't see this. You should see your dashboard, and you can see that we have a bunch of different selections for different programming languages and platforms. Okay, so obviously we want the Node.js. So if we click this, it's going to take us to, I guess, like a little guide to get started. So we're going to go ahead and click I'm ready to start. And you can see it says that this tutorial assumes that you have an account as well as Node.js and NPM installed, which we do. Okay, so the first thing you want to do here is to download the Heroku tool belt for Windows. Alright, and you can choose if you're using a different system, you can choose it. Okay, so we want Windows. And I actually already downloaded it earlier. So let's go ahead and run that. And it's just a Windows software installation. Just go through it. I'm going to use the default directory, program files. It already exists. Okay, so I'm just going to overwrite it. And I'm going to choose full installation. Okay, it'll also install the Ruby programming language as well. Alright, so we'll click finish, and now that should be installed. Now if we scroll down, we want to log in here with the command prompt. Now I'm not going to use the git bash because they've had issues with that, so we're going to use just the standard Windows command prompt. Alright, and we want to go to the application directory. So mine is in projects/ChatIO. Alright, and let's do Heroku login. And you just got to put in your email and also your password. Alright, so authentication successful. I think it creates the app. Oh no, we need to do app create. Okay, so let's click on this. I have installed Toolbelt, and let's see, prepare the app. Alright, so this here is if you want to do the sample project. We're not going to do that, but what we need to do is create a Git repository. So I'm going to go into, actually no, I'm just going to do it here. We'll just say git init. Alright, and that'll create a .git folder in your project folder. And I think by default it's going to be hidden. So if you want to unhide folders in Windows, you'll see this .git. Alright, so next let's add everything to the Git repository. So we can say git add, and then a dot is it just means add everything that's in the folder. All right, so now we should be able to commit locally. So we'll say git commit, and I'm going to add the M tag and then a comment. Okay, let's see. Commit didn't. Oh, I put a. Wait a minute. Commit did not match any files known to Git. Oh, is that because I use single quotes? Alright, there we go. Alright, so now it's committed locally. Now let's go to the next page to deploy the app. Alright, so we want to do Heroku create. And that should, you can see that it actually gave us just a random name here. So it's stillcastle3340.herokuapp.com. Now if we go back to the panel here and reload, you can see that we have an app now. Alright, so there's not much we can look at yet, but let's go ahead and push it. Okay, so we want to do git push Heroku master. Alright, so that'll push to the remote repository. Alright, so that's complete. So to test your app, you can go to, click this button here. Actually, you can just say, you can actually have the command line open it. If we say Heroku open, and it's probably going to give us an error. Yep, okay, application error. So let's continue with this guide because there's some things we didn't do. Okay, so down here, the application is deployed. We need to ensure that at least one instance of the app is running. So let's go ahead and copy this command here and paste that in, or type it, whatever. Scaling dynos. Alright, so no such process type web defined in proc file. Alright, so what we need to do is, let's see, define a proc file. Basically, we need to create a file called proc file with no extension, and we just need to include the main file that we want them to open, which is app.js. Okay, this example says index. Okay, but I'll still copy that, and then we want to go to our project folder and create a new document and call it proc file, and it should have a capital P. Alright, and then we'll open that up, and I'm going to paste that in and change this to app.js, I think, right? Yeah. Alright, so we'll save that. Now we have to make the changes here. We'll just add everything. Alright, and then we want to commit. So git commit M, and we'll say added proc file. Alright, and now we should be able to say git push Heroku master. Alright, so let's go ahead and see if that worked. Alright, so we're still getting the error. Let's see, we can show our log with Heroku logs. Alright, so let's see, error code H14, no web process is running. H81. Alright guys, so I was looking at the documentation and I went ahead a little bit, and what we need to do here is we need to define our scale, our dyno scale right here. So basically we need to just copy this and paste, and then what it should do is just scale your dynos at 1, and let's see, scaling dynos done, now running. So now we can go ahead and reload, and there's our app. Alright, so this is now live on the internet. You can get to this from anywhere using this subdomain. Of course you can add your own domain, but let's just make sure that this works. Okay, so username. Alright, so something went wrong here. Alright, the issue is that we have HTTPS. Okay, we need to get rid of that S, and then submit, and there we go. Okay, so that's working. Now we should be able to connect through another browser tab. We'll say Mike. Okay, you can see Brad and Mike. We'll say hi Brad. And we can see that, and then we'll say hi Mike. Alright, cool, so it's working. Now to get your own domain, because obviously if this was the production app, you don't want this as your domain. You can do that from the panel here. Let me see, I think in settings. Yeah. Okay, so domains, add your custom domain names here, then point your DNS to Heroku. Okay, so I guess, yeah, click edit, you could type in your domain, and then you just need to point your DNS, and you can just click on the link here. That'll take you to the page that explains all that. Alright, so that's how you can get your Node.js app live on the web using Heroku.